It might be something as simple as stopping and taking a deep breath in, or it could be a moment where you stop, you're thinking about how your day is going. That could be the ideal opportunity for you to think about you and how you're feeling. My name's Chris. Welcome to my channel, Beyond the Noise. So, in the previous two videos, what we've done is identified what it is to be an observer, and we put a simple routine in place to help you to get into the habit of being an observer. And in the second video, we talked about putting a routine in place when you start to get better at being an observer and being aware of how you're feeling. So if you are feeling a bit stressed, 2 or 3 minute exercise and reset. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is trigger points that you can associate with resetting yourself. Okay, getting into the habit of doing that. And we're also going to talk about the health issues that can arise because we're not being observers and we're not aware of how we're feeling. Okay, so let's talk about the trigger points first. Trigger points. When you find that you start looking at your clock, or sorry, the time on your phone or your watch, when you start finding yourself doing that, use that as a time to stop. Okay, just check in on yourself, see how you're feeling, and if you think you need resetting, reset with the breath work. Okay, that's number one. And number two, if you start getting a bit tetchy with yourself, a little bit grumpy, a little bit impatient with other people, stop. That's another trigger point. Okay, stop and reset. Okay, and then move on. Okay, now number three, this is quite popular. Most people suffer from this. It gets to a point where you start thinking to yourself, am I going to get my day finished the way I want to? Okay. Who's taking the dog out? Is there enough food for the kids? Who's picking the kids up from school? I mean, the list is endless. You get into this loop cycle where you literally can't stop it. When that happens, identify it, that's a trigger point. Okay. And then go into your breath routine and reset. All right. So the reason we're doing this is because when you're stuck in a sympathetic nervous system state for prolonged periods of time, your cortisol levels are elevated, your adrenaline is elevated, your breath rate goes up, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, you are stressed and anxious. Okay, so if you're like that for lengthy periods of time on a regular basis, this potentially could cause serious problems down the road. You might be fit, strong and healthy now. Okay, you get to the end of the day, you think you've coped with it, and that's fine. You crack open a beer and relax. But what you don't realise is because you haven't observed yourself during the day and taken time for you, you don't know what's happened previous for the rest of the day. So that's why we want to associate trigger points with coming back to the reset if we need to. If you don't, that's fine. You can just move on. So we want to get to this point where we're fixing problems without having to treat the symptoms, basically. Now, some of these stresses are good for us in short periods. Things like cold showers, saunas, intermittent hypoxia with certain breath routines and holds. All these things that are controlled and done in the short-term basis, on a short-term basis, are actually good for us because they strengthen us. But like we said, when it's happening on a regular basis for prolonged periods of time, that's when it becomes detrimental to our health. And you know, the problem is because you're not noticing it, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Now, I'm not saying you're going to die. Let's clear that up straight away. But the point being is, if you're not noticing it, you can't fix it. And like I said, somewhere down the road, you could find yourself with a serious health issue that stops you in your tracks. Now, what I want to do is I want to just explain to you some of the health issues that can arise. Now, there's a lot. But I'm just going to talk to you about 5 at the moment. I'm going to read them off this page here. So number 1, reduced cognitive ability. And that comes because when you're shallow breathing and mouth breathing and you're stressed and that breath rate's quicker and quicker, your oxygen levels in your blood, they drop. And if they drop below 90%, it's considered to be a moderate to severe hypoxic condition. And that can have a detrimental effect on the way the oxygen is distributed around your body. Particularly your brain, and that's when your cognitive ability can become impaired, and it can also have knock-on effects to other brain issues as well. Number 2, disrupts our digestive system, and this can cause inflammation and in turn other gut issues as well, like IBS, ulcers, colitis, Crohn's, and other things as well. So that's not good. Number 3, high levels of cortisol and adrenaline. This can cause inflammation, and we know what inflammation is. Inflammation is disease, and we don't want dis-ease. Okay, so we want to try and avoid that and fix it before it happens. Number 4, metabolic disorders. I mean, that covers a whole host of problems, and the knock-on effects of those can be very unpleasant as well. So try and avoid that. Number 5, the gut-brain axis. This can lead to impaired mood and an imbalance in your gut biome, and that in turn can have a knock-on effect and cause things like leaky gut syndrome, which is not good at all. We don't want that. Okay, so in summary, we're looking to find the trigger points that we can associate with a reset. So, we get used to doing it and get into good habits like that. And we need to understand that some of the health issues that can arise from this, and that's why it's important to become an observer. I think that's pretty much it, really. So once again, this is about you. This isn't about listening to the noise and people that want to profit from your misfortune because they don't have your best interest at heart. We fix the problem. We're helping to fix the problem before it becomes a problem. Okay. And you've got all the tools for that. You can do it yourself. We're just guiding you in the right direction. So I hope you found this useful. If you've got any opinions or questions, just drop them in the comments below. And hit the like, share and subscribe button, and don't forget the notification bell so that you don't miss my next video. And until then, be kind to yourself, stay bendy and breathe through the noise. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.